Anyway, Barnes is up next. The dump continues right after you. Barnes is in the house right after these messages. And now it's time to welcome, obviously singer, film actor, ad maker, and now author, Mr. Jimmy Barnes.
Gentlemen,
Jimmy, thanks very much for coming in the show.
My pleasure, believe me.
And, look, you've got a few supporters here. That's really good to see. We want to hear Kay-san one more time.
Come with me. Yeah,
family.
we'll see.
Now, in this book, the most interesting thing or the most surprising thing about this book, I think, is...
I wrote it, I think.
Well, it's basically somebody, as I understand it, sat down and while you talked, wrote down what you said. Is that a fair
yeah,
way?
he had a dictaphone.
A dictaphone?
And then he transcribed it, yeah.
This is not to be confused with your autobiography, which is going to be launched relatively soon. Once you get it written.
Yeah, once I finish writing it. I've sort of been writing it for a couple of years. I sort of, you know...
And you've got a title for it?
Yeah, it's called Love and Confusion, not necessarily in that order.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Now, the good thing about this story is concerns your alcoholism, for want of a better word. You hate a drink, as near as I can tell.
I'm fond of a drink, yeah.
Fond of a drink. Now, to paraphrase the book, and say people reading it, for about 40 years...
Thanks very much.
40 years you've been pissed.
Yes.
Now, and you've done all your best work pissed. How bad did the grog get?
I drank a lot, put it that way. But, the thing was that sort of... I think actually it was a prerequisite for the gig, and it sort of, more than anything, probably helped the gig. I probably would have been really quiet and, shy and sort of laid back if I hadn't had it, but not likely.
No, now, how could things have been different if you hadn't been drinking?
Oh, geez.
You would have been a jazz trio.
I could have been in Mamas and the Papas, I could have choked on a sandwich,
Now, have you tried to work out how much it all cost?
A lot of friends.
Yeah, well, apart from that, just in raw economic
I reckon you could probably sort of, I probably drank a fleet of Ferraris or something like that.
Yes. And did you actually, in the sense of it, did you actually go and buy the grog, from the, obviously the liquor shop, the bottle shop or whatever it was, or did somebody else do it and you didn't actually have a clear idea?
I used to have a guy who I'd, call up at sort of all those, have you got any alcohol? No, whatever. Sometimes it just miraculously turned up there. And sometimes it just miraculously disappeared.
Isn't rock and roll great?
I love rock and roll. You've got to love that gig. You've got to love that gig.
Now, one of the things is, and I find this a bit hard to believe, is you decided to give it up, partly to become a better role model for the kids.
No, it was a role model for the kids, yeah.
Yeah, but the kids are all pretty old now. They're all teenagers, I take it.
Yes.
Now, I put it to you that that's an absolute waste of your time because kids learn from their parents. What they learn from their parents is almost all complete by about the age of 7 and 10 at the outside.
So it's a waste of time?
I think so.
Well, what the thing is, it's actually they're the role models for me.
Oh, okay.
So I've learnt from them, so I'm straightening up from them. Yeah.
Jimmy, with your drinking, and I take it...
Can I borrow this? Just it makes me feel a bit more comfortable.
Take it. Well, you'd have had that, say, filled with gin or something.
Vodka.
You'd finish that off for breakfast.
Yeah, on the cereal.
Yeah, on your cereal.
Yeah.
OK, so there was the vodka and other assorted alcohol. A bit of smoking, cigarettes?
Yeah.
Oh, OK. Any other drugs?
Oh, what's not nailed down? What have you got?
Is that right? OK, so it was a heady cocktail.
It's fairly wild sort of fella.
OK, a bit of grass, a bit of coke.
You name it, we did it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So there must be years you can't remember.
It's probably a good thing, I reckon.
Yeah. Did it help the performance at all? Do you look back and think, gee, that was a great performance?
There's a couple where I've actually sat down. There's a couple of shows, seriously, where I've been talking to the audience and I've seen videos back and I don't know what I was saying, I have no idea. It was like, what was I talking about? So, sometimes it helped the performance. I'm sure a lot of the times it hindered.
OK. But now you've found yoga and meditation.
Yes, as opposed to yoga and medication.
Yes, yeah. Now, how... the yoga, I understand, you put yourself through a series of stretches and that sort of thing. Yeah, exercises. Now, with the meditation, is it just a case of sitting down and humming a lot? Is that it? Sort of,
I think, yeah.
And do you seriously sit down for a couple of hours a day and do that?
No, I sort of do it as much as I can. Sometimes I'll sit down and, as you can probably well, you know, guessed by now. It's very difficult for me to sit bloody still, so, you know.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'm sitting there, you know, sort of, and other times it's sort of, maybe I better leave now. You know, and other times it's just wait till the wife leaves, then say, that's it, that's enough.
So you don't meditate by yourself?
I do sometimes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the ambition of meditation is enlightenment, isn't it?
No, well, it's to find a bit of peace of mind, a bit of, you know, to get focused. It helps with a lot of things. I actually find, believe it or not, that it actually helps a lot with performance. Same as with the yoga. The Ashtanga yoga that I do is actually sort of, it's a form of meditation in its own, really.
Yeah.
It's, you know, yoga without the sort of the breathing and the meditation is exercise. So.
Okay. Okay.
Are you louder now due to the yoga and meditation?
I did some shows last week, and my sound guy said that I was singing about 2/3 louder than I was.
Is that right?
Yes.
And your energy
So now I
level,
don't need a PA.
You've got a lot of more energy now too, as a
Yes,
result.
yeah, I got a ton of energy.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good
Now,
thing.
Yeah.
The $1 million question with your meditation is, have you been here before? And if so, what are the signs?
Well, I think I was here before because I find things like this lying around everywhere I go. No, it hasn't helped me at all. I don't know. I can't answer that one. If you guys people can ring in and tell us if they've seen me before.
Right.
Yeah. Even this life, if they've seen me, they could ring in and tell us. There's a couple of things, a few blank spots.
Now, your Deepak Chopra is your kind of teacher.
He's a mate of mine.
Yeah. Now, are they only into meditation and yoga, or do they kind of work that whole area of, you know, sort of astrology and tarot readings and stuff like that as well, or do they drop off at a certain point?
Well, Deepak sort of, he's interested in sort of everything, really. He's a pretty clever guy. And what I like about Deepak is he doesn't write any of it off. But, you know, he has his healthy sort of, you know, doubts about some of the stuff. You know, like astrology, tarot cards, all that stuff is as good as the person who's reading it. I think basically somebody can sit there and if they're intuitive enough, they can know when to leave. And sort of on that note,
That's right.
you know, I mean, no, they can pick it up from you're basically reading your own personality. So Deepak is open-minded, put it that way. He's open to, you know, everything, but he's not like sort of, you know, into everything airy-fairy.
No. Now, have you played India? Has Cultures will probably didn't go there, but has the Barnes solo tour ever been to India? And if so,
I have sang in India once, and that was at a meditation seminar in Goa with Deepak, and I got up with an Indian band. It was an experience.
And what did you sing? What did you play?
I think I did a couple of Elvis tunes, and, you know, just a couple of rock and roll things.
With a sitar and tabla.
Sitar, yeah, it was, you know, yeah. It was very difficult. It wasn't very entertaining, but.
What, Suspicious Minds? That would have been a good one.
It's not a bit like that, yeah.
Now, I read where you were going to do a show, a sort of Osborne-style show, where cameras would be in every room of your house with your family and all of that.
Well, they sort of hounded me a bit to do that, yeah.
Now, who's the they?
They is a bunch of networks, including the one we happen to be on.
What, Channel 7 did?
Yes, as well as a few others and a few production companies. I mean, I think when the Osbournes hit in America, it was just such a phenomenon there. They just thought, you know, how can we make that translate to Australia? Sure. And we were the wildest family in the country, so they pursued us.
They're just a couple of years too late, though.
Yeah, what are they going to do? That's a half-hour show there.
Yeah, well, it is true.
It's a half-hour show. Yeah, exactly. It's not good entertainment, but it's a half-hour show.
You know, just in the trips to India, I mean, do you get any royalty statements from record sales or radio play in India?
No, I don't think so. I'd like to have, yeah.
And there's no future? I mean, it's a vast audience there.
Listen, it's actually one of the biggest music markets in the world, actually, and film markets, but I don't know how well their collection companies are for collecting royalties. I think you'd be, you know, struggling to sort of pick up a rupee or two.
Do they have FM stations there that play your back catalogue like they do in Australia?
Not like a Triple M, no.
Are you tired of FM stations, largely, and AMs? Well, mind you, AMs mainly
radio,
talk.
Yeah.
But FM radio stations just playing old rubbish?
I'm tired of radio stations playing old rubbish and some of the new rubbish they play, you know.
Sure.
There's a couple of decent stations, a couple of decent shows, no present company included there.
Right.
But there's a lot of crap on the radio, same, you know. But there's also, you know, you sift through all the crap, you find lots of good stuff. You just got to bear through it. You know, I do get a bit, you know, annoyed when you do, you know, hear, you know, loads and loads of back catalogue, especially when it's your own and you've got new stuff out. So, you know, and they do that with all the acts, you know. There are lots of acts that would like to sort of move on from the back catalogue and play new stuff. Yeah. But, you know, I guess they've got to play what brings in the revenue. Sure. And Ksan's one of those things.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, good luck with the book.
Well, I was just going to, because there's been pressure from the audience to ask, do you actually eat Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Damn.
tell you, mate.
That's an original question.
I tell you, mate, I don't. I don't know anyone who does. Do you, AC?
You know what, can I tell you the truth?
Yeah.
I do.
Is that right?
I have. And the day I made the ad, I ate about 50 bloody hamburgers. I've got a gold card now. I can get as much as I want.
Is that
so
right?
next time I'll be on the show, I'll be about 300 stone. Yeah.
Well, look, all the best with this book and also your own autobiography.
Thanks
and
a lot.
when you go omming again real soon, you might be able to hang that from the front of the trousers. It's a Monday dump belt buckle. And if you look down here for the happy snap, I'll ask the audience to thank Jimmy Barnes.